Former sanitation minister maame a yɛfrɛ no Cecilia Dapaa abusua maame no ohye ne nsɛm bi a ɛba bɛto dwa sika twitwiri di a yɛkɔkɔ hu no ne fie abusua ene maame no asɛm asan so ato no aha Gossip Politics TV. So unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na ya any update bi abɛtɔpe no wonso wonsa ebetumi akabi na abusua Public Account Committee PAC Omotnas na investigations be on a project be a former NPP government. And I say NPP government a chemu omodema a sanitation minister contract no a 8.2 million Ghana cedis. Abusuya contract no omotu ya sika no ye di ato accounts no mun so 8.2 million Ghana cedis no contract na ya nye sika nso a pabam. Contract na ya anyo sika nso a maame a yɛfrɛ no Cecilia Dapaa ebimo atena so na we ena PAC Public Account Committee omotena ase former anase omobora Ministry of what sanitation anase sanitation ministry omobora ho no ena omoye investigations na kokopie mu se contract bi anase project bi a yɛfrɛ no toilet for all. Say omo adwen say omo be sisi toilet de ama regions no constituencies no na saa toilet omo sisi aban etu a 8.2 million Ghana cedis sanitation ministry maame e friend Cecilia Dapaa abusua sika no agehane omo di sika no ashom botum ama sisi ano ya semon maame a ye friend no Cecilia Dapaa over 8.2 million Ghana cedis contracts ya so a sika no yehunu akira kwan so a project no so a omo anye amfa ma oman no enti sisi ano PAC committee omo asemon maame a yefrɛ no Cecilia Dapaa any those involved in the project no say omo emra mepie empanyfo anim na kyerɛ investigations enkoso mom yenko na yenkonkotie ensema ekoso Public Account Committee ensemo ekoso unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na any updates be a drop no wonso wonsa ebetumi akabi medamase.
Because the Public Accounts Committee is set to summon public officials, Bright Odro Kwarteng and Theophilus Okai, who made claims amounting to 8.2 million cedis intended for the construction household toilet facilities in parts of the country under the Toilet for All project executed by the former Ministry for Sanitation and Water Resources in 2019. Now, according to the local government chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Minister Ahmed Ibrahim, efforts to verify the claims have been hindered after the officials involved indicated that the supporting document had been forwarded to the National Archives. He disclosed that although mobilization funds had been paid, no work was executed, adding that the previous government had initiated steps to abrogate the contract and re-award it for execution.
This transaction took place at the erstwhile Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, and it was under the leadership of Honorable Cecilia Dapaa. And I think it was 2019. So even though we are in 2026, it is 10 years, 5 years or 6 years now. So we did our best, but the good news is that the officers who handled this transaction are still at post in other ministries. The director for procurement was one Mr. Theophilus Okai. He is still at the Ministry of Defense. And Mr. Bright Odro Kwarteng, he is now Director of Finance at the Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness. So they are still alive, they are still in public service. And I don't want to be a victim of what the Bible says, that I was made to answer questions for which I have no idea about. Archives, I don't know, the thing is not up to 10 years and you are taking them, you say that you've been sent to archives. And Mr. Chairman, we have the names of the contractors here and the contracts. And it has to do with the government policy of toilet for all before 2020. They were giving mobilization and they didn't go to site. Construction of 300 household toilets in Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, construction of 200 household toilets in Tamale, construction of this and this. The contractors and their names with the amount are here, and we'll make them available to the committee. You call them, and directors are ever ready to give whatever information you want us to give to you.
Well, the ranking member on the Public Accounts Committee, Samala Tamil, subsequently directed that the officials involved be hauled before the committee.
And the current people out there, and wherever the documents are, they will have to come with them. You pay somebody mobilization to go and work. The person doesn't do it, takes the money. Then you come back, you want to abrogate this contract and repackage it and give it to somebody. Now, what I don't understand is the Ministry of Local Government, you were making payments for contracts that you don't have the contracts. You don't have the documents. Anyway, when all of you come, we'll do it live.
Now, the minority says it may consider filing a private member's bill to amend the Ghana Gold Board Act, citing inefficiencies in its current operations. The caucus claims that under the existing arrangement, every $10 million released by the central bank to Gold Board for gold purchases results in an estimated 15% loss. It also notes that the government is compelled to pay bonuses to gold dealers to keep smuggling. Speaking during an engagement with the Ghana Employers Association, ranking on the Economy and Development Committee, Kojo Ponkroma, indicated that the NPP, the next NPP government would undertake broader reforms of the Gold Board if the proposed amendment fails to address the challenges.
Minority offered a lot of suggestions. That, listen, this program, we started it, we know the loopholes, we know the gaps. For example, don't mix the role of the regulator with the role of the trader. Because if you do, you may end up funding regulatory functions in ways that you shouldn't. We also offered various suggestions, including the definition of what they called hoarding, part of which affects, jewelers. Some of those bits of advice were listened to, but in the end, a good chunk of it was literally all thrown away. And that is how come you are left with this one. So now the government is having to, as part of regulatory functions, pay a bonus to the gold dealers so that they don't smuggle the gold. But if you're going to have to pay a bonus to discourage people from smuggling, you're going to lose money. And that's how come, as Leader was mentioning, the government is now admitting that for every $10 million that the Bank of Ghana releases to Gold Board to go and buy gold for them, 15% of it doesn't come back. It goes into all sorts of charges, handling charges, assaying charges, bonus and other things. So there are a number of things that are, in our view, very wrong with the current structure. We have proffered some views already. Those views have not been taken. We are happy to take your input, even as at now. And if it is possible for us to come by private members' bill to get amendments, we will explore that. If we cannot do it by a private members' bill and we have to wait for the next MPP administration to make those corrections, then we'll make those corrections. But what we can assure you is that this exercise, which was started on the watch of the MPP, we learned a lot of lessons from it. We are seeing the mistakes that are being made. And at the next opportune moment, we will do our best to make sure that those corrections are done to serve the interest of particularly private sector operators.
Now, the contractor working on sections of the Temaflao Road, BHM International Construction, is under renewed scrutiny over delays in the commencement and execution of the project. The Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Govins-Agbodza, has expressed strong dissatisfaction with the level of commitment shown by the contractor, raising concerns about the pace of work. Let's listen to the minister when he toured some of the big push projects yesterday.
We've paid your bill. If it's about money, we've paid the bill. So start working. Don't say that in your contract you say you use 1 month to remobilize, but the public can't take this. So I think that you should reconsider saying that you remobilize after Easter, because it is difficult to see anything that you are doing. Absolutely. I can't even see one track with the inscription of BHM on it. So I keep asking myself, what is going on here? I can't see any equipment here that you've been paid for at least a week. Nothing, absolutely nothing going on here. This is unacceptable. This is not what we signed up for. So what is going on?
Well, this is not the first time such concerns have been raised. Now, on March 5, 2025, at the same project site, the minister publicly criticized the contractors over the slow progress of work. BHM International Construction Limited is responsible for the 17-kilometer stretch from the Temaranabout to the Central University campus at Mutual. The $105 million project, funded through a bilateral loan from the UK, was suspended in December of 2022 following Ghana's debt restructuring program, which included a temporary halt on servicing of debts.
A place like this, which is the TT Junction, it beats my mind whether BHM is incapable of basically fixing this as a temporary measure. I will not lie to you. We just don't like that. You cannot say that a company of your repute couldn't. What kind of procurement process do you need to just get a national person to just fix this little thing? And then you put crash rock or something in it. And for 3 weeks, nothing is done. How are we supposed to believe that it's because you haven't been paid? Because if we go into your books now, you're still holding part of our money.
Well, we're staying on road projects because work resumed on April 7, 2025 after renewed assurances by government officials, including President Mahama and the Finance Minister, aimed at restoring contractor confidence. Now, despite these assurances and the contractors' return to site, progress remains minimal a year on, with large sections of the road still uncompleted.
Money hit our accounts on Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. We paid our subcontractor on Friday. Already they are on site. If you get to Covert E, they are currently working. Me saying come next week, you see us working more effectively. It's not because we are breaking. We are working currently. So yes, we know what the public is going through. We ourselves, some of our staffs also live on this corridor, so we know what is happening. Now that we've been paid, we will deliver.
Residents and commuters who rely on the Tema-Plao stretch continue to bear the brunt of the delays as pressure mounts on both the government and contractors to deliver on the project. Now, it is often said that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat its mistakes. These words capture the essence of the stories shared by representatives of various countries that spoke at the UN General Assembly prior to the historic vote to declare the transatlantic slave trade as a grievous crime against humanity. Countries from the Asia-Pacific region like China, Singapore, and Malaysia to Latin America regions, including Brazil, Mexico, Paraguay, who played no role in the slave trade atrocities, explained that their support for the motion was because they are still remnants of the slave trade in modern times. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent Martin Date observed that historic moment and reports.
The stories of the impact of slavery may have started in Africa, but its impact and aftermath are dotted across the globe. In 2007, the United Nations set aside the month of March every year to remember the abolishment of the slave trade. Speaker after speaker, country after country echoed the same sentiment, which is that humanity can never ignore that slavery occurred and it must never be repeated again. However, Africa and its global partners want more than just remembrance. They want justice, the return of artifacts, and appropriate reparations. The African Union champion for reparations and lead proponent for the motion, President John Dramani Mahama of Ghana, in his last clarion call before the voting, charged member states to choose to be on the side of history.
And so delegates, on this beautiful day in March, were called to stand on the right side of history. Let it be recorded that when history beckoned, we did what was right for the memory of the millions who suffered the indignity of the slave trade and those who continue to suffer racial discrimination. Let our vote on this resolution restore their dignity and humanity.
A unique feature about the United Nations General Assembly voting is that member states are allowed to explain why they will vote in favor of a motion or not. This explanation is given before or after the vote. It was at this moment that the United Kingdom, France, the Netherlands, Germany, and other major European countries gave reasons why they abstained.
Regrettably, we were not able to reach a consensual outcome in the short time frame allocated to negotiations. We also regret that the proponents of the resolution did not reconsider their approach despite our repeated calls for more openness to constructive comments.
The United Kingdom appreciates that Ghana, on behalf of the African Union, consistently stressed that this resolution was not to be read as a legal document. This was restated by the drafters at every informal consultation. In this context, the UK and others offered specific language to move the text away from legal to political discourse, while still reflecting the sheer gravity and horror of the acts.
The Kingdom of the Netherlands cannot support references that suggest the retroactive application of international law, including the implication of a legal obligation to provide reparations for acts that were not a violation of international law at the time they were committed.
Then came speeches from representatives from Latin America and the Caribbean states stating why they support the motion.
We stand in solidarity with Africans and people of African descent who continue to bear the lasting impacts of this tragic legacy. In Vietnam, earlier chapters of our own history were also marked by profound suffering, loss, and the denial of fundamental rights under brutal colonialism.
The only opportunity for us to avoid repeating the tragedies of the past is if we keep the memory of the historic truth. And that is why efforts to fight the falsification of history is one of the key areas of Russian foreign policy. In this regard, we would like our support to the draft resolution submitted by Ghana on behalf of the African group.
We take this opportunity to recognize the leadership of the African Union and the Republic of Ghana at the helm of this draft resolution on the declaration of transatlantic slave trade and racialized slavery of Africans as one of the most heinous crimes against humanity.
Then came the moment of truth, which gave some members of the Ghanaian delegation palpitations.
We shall now begin the voting process.
This seemed to be the longest few minutes considering the rate of the change of the voting pattern on the screen. But at the close of the polls, the motion was adopted with rapturous applause.
Therefore, draft resolution A/80/L48 is adopted.
Ghana has been able to get the overwhelming support of member states to accept and adopt the resolution. 123 countries in support. 3 of them actually decided to vote against it. And then, about 52 decided to abstain from voting.
The key concern raised by the United States of America for voting against the motion and reasons adduced by the European Union was addressed by the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa.
In the history of the United Nations, this has been a resolution that has gone through so many rounds of consultations. And even the duration for this consultation, each consultation, the standard practice at the UN is that it takes 1.5 hours. We allocated 3 hours, twice the time, and had multiple rounds of negotiations. So there are some that to us, it is clear that even if we gave them 50 years, they would say that the time is not enough. But we can no longer wait.
There are more steps to be taken beyond this resolution, and trust TV3 to update you. Martin Esiedudate from the United Nations headquarters in New York.
Now, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union is expected to begin internal consultation over a possible increase in transport fares in fares following the latest surge in fuel prices. Prices of petroleum products have risen sharply after the National Petroleum Authority announced new rates for the first pricing window of April. Petrol is now selling at a minimum of 13 cedis 30 pesos per litre, while diesel is pegged at 17 cedis 10 pesos, both significantly higher than prices recorded in the previous window.
And some so our political highway so Cecilia Dapaa and HS Public Account Committee yade ne honsem e de brema enye asem keto akra ma me no krampo no ne case e wo court no ye hu ba bia case no akopia sa ne money laundering issue no abusua a charges for asanso abesesen ne koma enye easy kra beda ma sesamo je pene kokoti sa ensem we e de mai aha gossip politics TV so beda ma se